What you man telling?
Go.
So obviously we know the state of affairs, right? And the thing is, I don't even want to necessarily talk about the topic like overall because it's been spoken about. I think I'm more thinking about racism in gaming because I don't think that gets a lot of shine at all. I think racism in gaming is almost as though it's gaming, people don't take it too seriously, but it's a real thing. Like it's a real thing, and I think it's just interesting. It'd be good to just have a chat about it because, of course, there's a few black YouTube gamers and stuff, but I know that there's not that many. So the gaming community probably doesn't hear a lot of these conversations.
I think even like I agree with that. When you say like it's kind of brushed over, it's similar to I think of it like this. It's similar to like on social media when someone drops like a racist comment in like a comment or something like on Instagram because there's so many comments on there. To find it and to go through all of that is long for people. But like especially on gaming, you play someone like you have the player met feature and you can kind of find them and report them. But once you face that person, they're gone. Like that's it. If they put it on like a chat, like on the the in-game chat, or if they send your personal message, after that they're gone. They can't do anything. And I think I agree. Like it's not something that's talked about a lot of the time because I could tell you bare games that happen.
I feel like, sorry, let me just touch on that point real quick. I feel like when it comes to stuff like that, because it's not really touched on, it's now in a way considered a gaming norm. Obviously you're gonna find toxic people everywhere, but when it comes to gaming, like you said, it's behind the screen. After you've interacted with that person and the session is done, you're never going to hear from them again unless you actively decide to either message them or add them as a friend. But realistically, that's not right.
And that's the thing is like about that, is that the differences in with social media and gaming, it's easy to find someone's whole life on social media. You cannot do that on gaming. All people put is I speak English or I speak this language and here's my gaming list of what I play. That's all you have.
Profile, basically, it's very limited.
Unless they have like a Twitch or they do have like a YouTube, maybe you can go at it. But like, there's not much.
But even then, like for instance, I got a Twitch and everything, but I don't promote that when I play PS4. Like that's not on my profile. Like my profile is literally my what is it? My PSN name, and it asks you what language you speak. So obviously, I speak English. That's all you're getting from me.
But I think the thing about the racism in gaming, I think because gaming is like you said, an anonymous space, it's a space whereby, for the most part, no one takes it too seriously. For the most part, obviously, there are some people who like everything is serious, but for most people, it's not too serious. And lastly, it's worldwide. So what happens is, what I've noticed is there is it exposes racism. So it's like in gaming, one of the biggest insults is to refer to anybody as black or African or the N-word. Like it's part of insult. Oh yeah, get out of here, you African. Even if the person's not African.
That's what I said. It's become like the gaming norm.
Yeah, even if the person's not African.
Are so ready.
It's like the fact that you're saying it. It's the fact that you're saying African. It's like that's the worst thing you can say to somebody. But it's it's exposing the society's view of us as human beings. That we're the worst thing you can be as a person.
Bro, they've always been seeing us as bottom of the barrel in anything we've been doing.
And this is the thing, it's mad because in gaming, people complain like, I get this racism too. Like you may be Asian, you may be Muslim, you may be from a different part of the country, you might be in a different part of the world. You experience it, but then like people always refer to it like, it's like we all go through the same thing. Why can't we band together? It's like, but black. I'm like, bro, are you good? Like, I thought like if you're receiving something similar, why are you all like? And it happens along most parts. Like, if you're going through the same thing, why are you not backing us up? Like, why is it why is it a thing where what you say like you're experiencing it, but you don't want to help us, but yet you're going to complain that this is happening? It's like like.
But again, and it's sorry to cut you short because I find it really different because there is calling an Asian person something racist as an Asian person. They're saying something racist to somebody who's Jewish because they're Jewish. They're saying something racist to somebody who's white because they're white. For example, there's comments you can make against culture. But what they do for us is they use us as the abuse for anybody. So there can be somebody who's clearly not black, and they'll still call them the N-word to show that I'm trying to disrespect you. So it's like there could be somebody who's not African, but they'll be like, get out of here, like you African monkey. But the person's clearly not African. But it's almost as though black in itself is an insult.
Like it's the top tier insult. So like you can't come back from that.
Which is like, how do we become an insult? Like that's a mad thing. So it's like
because how people perceive us in general, man.
And especially on the using that word, from a point where it's like, I can't use that word in reality. But in virtual reality, I could use that word when you want to.
Man like Jake.
Man like Jake, what you say?
No, man, I'm letting you lot roll because you sound like you're on the roll. So
No, you're right. When
feel free to jump in whenever as well, man.
When you get, you're right though. When it gets to that level whereby it's almost as though I've seen it so many times. It's like these kids get excited. Now no one can see them. The mum's not there. We spewing the N-word randomly, like just not even in context. There's no context to it. It's just I can say it now. Someone's gonna hear me.
Like,
they can't do anything about it.
It's like when I play GTA, so I go play through GTA. I don't know if you experience this as well, Jake, because you play as well. Cecil and Sayo, like you probably you hear it often. Like you'll put your headphones on and you'll just hear like someone say it. But I'm like, I'm not being judgy. It could be a black person's voice as well, but like judging by the tone of your voice and the pitch and how you said it, you don't sound black.
You know the one's there.
Even outside of that, Shaq, even outside of that, generally, not completely. Again, generally for those listening before they start saying it, generally means not all the time, just means generally. Generally, black people don't say the word randomly. We don't just say it out of the blue. So it's like when you're online and someone's just throwing the word out there, it's probably not a black person, because why would we just come online and just start saying the N-word? Like we don't do that.
It's not making sense.
It's like even if like the times when I hear like the American we hear like an American voice chat, and it's like you can tell, like from judging from the slang of how they speak, like, you can tell. If like I hear a black person on them, he says the N word, I'm like, oh yeah, I hear it, and I'm like, usually when I'm hearing it, he's speaking to someone else in his house.
Exactly.
I'm like, but then someone comes on the chat, and it's like, and randomly, and it's like, to all the N words in the chat, fuck you, and I'm like, whoa.
Because no one's ever like punished them or told them that they can't say that. They're not around people that actually actively stop them or give them repercussions for saying the word. That's why.
No, but Jake, they do. They're not allowed to say it, which is why when they come on gaming, they're happy to say it, because they can't go out to their friends and be like, So when they're on gaming, now, suddenly it's like they don't know it's me. It's like
with gaming, all you have is an avatar and your name. You can go into anywhere, say it, log off, you're done. You've said your daily N-word for the day, which you shouldn't even be doing.
No one's there. Like, and
that's how they're treating
like, they're so proud of it as well. It's like they're so proud. They can't say in the outside world, so they come to the gaming world where it's basically a simulation. So they can basically act and say what they want. So at the end of the day, it's a case of, you see them spraying the N-word the way they are, that's revealing the true character of themselves. They know they're not going to get judged by people they know, and let's be real, most of the time they're going to get away with it, because it's now come to the point where we've heard it so many times where if you hear it, it's just like, here we go again. When realistically, it should be a case where we need to report this, but we don't, because we've kind of groomed ourselves to the point where it's like, it's happened all the time. What's the point of even fighting it? Let's just move away from it.
Things on that, it's like...
Cecil, hold on, sorry. We didn't groom ourselves, they groomed us, bro. We didn't come to that conclusion.
Sorry, my bad. I actually agree with that. I agree with that.
It's them that are like, what's the big deal, man? Why are you hyping? Oh, leave it. So now, if we say something about it, it's like, oh, why you guys making a big deal for? It's not a big deal.
This is the two things, like, it's people, this is what people forget, touching on what you said about, showing who they really are. When the thing about virtual reality, is that when it comes, that's a space where people can do whatever they want, or kind of run away from what in reality. But sometimes when they can't do something in reality, virtual reality allows them to do that stuff.
Honestly,
So touching on where you say they're showing who they really are. In times, that part in virtuality, that's actually who they really are.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah,
that's who's
yeah.
inside, and they're able to show it. But then touching on your next point, where you was like, how do we do it? This is the thing where game companies or devs don't really touch on it. You can report it as many times. You can like try and make it a hashtag and stuff, but they won't really go for it. Because if they can't even focus on like trying to get hackers out of a game, what makes you think they're going to try and get racists out of a game?
Yeah. But Jake,
and that's also why like all these game companies now like putting these messages and speaking up about Black Lives Matters now. So all those fragile, gamers are out coming out. Keep politics out of gaming. It has nothing to do with us. When in reality, like you hear it all the time in gaming. It does.
Yeah.
It's an issue that hasn't been touched on.
It's like
That's
what is mad? Politics. Someone was killed. How's that politics? That's real life, bro. It's like we're not. What are you talking about? So I remember. Go on.
Yeah. No, sorry. Sorry.
No, I was playing Fortnite a while ago, right? And there was a friend of mine, and I think it was their nephew. It was a lady and her nephew. He plays with us sometimes. His friend was, in the lobby, and in Fortnite you can choose different like characters who they can be. And then I think it was on random. And it was like, oh no, another black one. Oh, another black girl. And he quickly changed the character. And my friend, she was so ashamed. And she just messaged me like, really sorry, Sayo. Like that, I'm really sorry. And then they were like, why would you say that? Why'd you say that? I'm just saying, she's dirty. I don't want to use her. Like, what?
Dirty.
This is the thing,
Not even you don't like the character design, you don't like what she's wearing, she's
honestly
dirty.
And this is the thing, with stuff like that, people also, there's kids who start, and remember this,
like 11 years old,
let their kids, a lot of adults, let their kids play like these games. I'm not saying it like I'm being one of those adults that's like, you should let your kid play these games. Do what you want. But I'm saying when you do let your kid play this game, you need to understand that they're going to be exposed to stuff like this. So they're going to learn from this. Anything that they pick up from there, they could possibly bring back here. So even playing Fortnite, I know as I've grown up, I'm like, when I see the skin, like to this day, I think from when we played the Travis Scott thing, and I saw the basketball skin, the basketball guy, that is my skin on Fortnite. That's the waviest, for me, that's the waviest skin in the game. That is the waviest skin in the game. Why? Because it looks dope. But for some people, someone to go, oh, that's dirty, or this character doesn't look great. And it's like, that is another thing where in gaming, and Jake, you're going to agree with me on this, they don't represent black or customization. If someone has cornrows, they have the dead duty black cornrows.
Years.
In terms of clothing, you're always given like the most ghetto clothing, or the most what they call
right into a stereotype,
bro. It's like so they put you back like you're dressing in like 19
dress all added
baggy clothing, the era hat, the baggy shirt, a chain.
Everyone looking like they come out of Def Jam fight for New York.
Yeah.
So forget the clothing as well. Just go to the skin tone. When it comes to when it comes to making a white character, you have a range.
Yeah, you know when you're
yes.
It's either light skin, black, super black.
He's not lying.
Why is there
He's not lying.
Jake, you're not lying.
He's not
lying.
He's not.
All I hear is facts.
Because bro,
people always ask, it's like, because if people ask, why don't you create your character? Why is your character like not this? Like, why did this? Or why didn't you create a character who was black? It's like, well, it's not that I didn't want to. It's the fact that you didn't give me a choice. You either gave me, as Jake said, super black here, or you gave me light that's not even black, where it's just like we don't know what
the skin tone 7 shades in between those two.
You've given me super black, dead cornrows, or what is called not even a fade, a buzz cut, and that's all I have to work with.
Or I think what
you just get that really round afro.
Oh,
Afro Thunder from Ready to Run.
Oh my god, two black hairstyle in video games. That's the go-to.
What makes it worse, guys? I think what makes it worse as well is often the graphics they've improved a bit, but the black skin would also be shiny. Why is my skin shiny? Why does it look like
an oiled pan?
Bro, why? Why would I? Why? Especially the darker you get. Like, is the only black leather? I don't understand. Like,
No, stop it. No.
Why would you do that to me?
It's mad because that's you with the options. It's like, okay, if you know how to do this in the game, when you're doing like, I get with game design, you're looking at the movement, you're looking at you're looking at how the body, you're looking at the body movement, you're looking at the talking, you're trying to study all the human form and see what you can do. This is why I love. And people say, oh yeah, 2K. It's like one of the reasons I like 2K is the character customization. Because what you could do in that, you can do face cam. It tracks your whole face, and then you can make your character look like you. To actually have a character that looks like you is a powerful thing, because that makes me want to play the game more. If you have a representation of a character that doesn't look like me to the point where it's just outrageous, I'm not gonna play that. That's not gonna make me want to play it, because I'm like, well, in a way, how does this? People are like, people will talk about, well, why do you need to be represented in the game? Because you are easily represented in the game. You will go to a character and be like, oh, this character is so me. How can I go into a game and be like, yeah, this character is me. This person who is super dark and has a buzz cut. Like that, it's not, and it's like, it's not, no one has a problem with super dark. It's because you put it to the point where, as Sayo said, you've made them like level. Yeah. You've made it look like that's unrealistic. That's unrealistic.
And just for clarity for anybody who's watching, we love all shades of black, by the way. So we have no. What we're referring to is not the fact that the person is dark, is that the person is unrealistically dark. And the person doesn't look like what we look like. And that's the issue. The issue is, it's clear that you've made no effort to actually represent us clearly.
There are beautiful black men and women that are dark, but they're in a way where they shine, but not into the point where they shine where it's like an unrealistic, oh, here's a frying pan shine. No.
Yeah.
If you're gonna do this, do it right. Don't mock us. Like, what's there to say? If it's character customization, how can you tell me the only thing I can choose between is a Pidgeotto haircut, buzz cut, afro that's, as you said, ridiculously round, and chunky cornrows?
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
Sorry. Because I'm just trying to clarify. So EA, right? They've they've done on Apex. So the reason why I want to bring. Oh, am I still there?
Yeah.
Sorry,
I know what you're bringing up. I seen the screen, fam. I can even bring up that message right now on my PC.
So
just to read it out. Nah. When I launched Apex, it was the first thing that come up after.
I know. But
after the menu, innit?
And I've gone to the website, so it's connected to a statement on their website.
Okay. No.
A statement from the CEO, and what they did was last week Friday they got some thoughts from their black employees on what to do. Now, I think that's good. The fact that you didn't say this is what we're going to do, you actually went to black people who work for you and said, black people who work for us, what can we do? They've decided, now, you know what? There's been a lot of companies who are out there saying, this is what we want to do, we're going to do that. What they've actually said, and if this is legit, I got to give them props. We're contributing 1 million to organizations dedicated to fight racial injustice, such as Equal Justice Initiative and NACP Legal Defense Educational Fund and others. And anybody who donates, they're going to match the funds. So anybody who donates to EA to donate to any of these causes, they're going to match the funds and donate as well. So it's like, if this is legit, you're not just talking.
So this is what I have to say about that. Yeah, it's easy to donate. It's easy to kind of like give off that image. It's what you do after. It's always what you do after.
Yeah,
because if you're talking about it, like this is the thing with companies and brands or game companies. You can donate. It's easy to donate for you. You have money. You can chuck money here and there. But it's all about how you do it after. Because if your energy, you have this energy now, but that's because at the moment it's on the main stage. But after that, when everyone goes back to doing their stuff, is your energy gonna be the same? That's what black people want to know.
Bro,
are you gonna keep that consistency?
No, check it. They're launching programs that are gonna do some volunteering with their EA employees. They've got something called the Black Electronics Art Team within EA.
I get that, but so it's like, always this is the thing. It's the time thing, Shaq. Where it's like, it's always you can start and say this, but then like once that's out of the way or it's not seen anymore, that could easily be dropped like that.
100%. So the question
that's
is,
what I'm saying. Like it's after.
the reality is we have to hope that the black people that work for EA will hold them accountable, because it's not me that's going to be checking every month if they're still doing what they're doing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, but then it's going back to, if it's not on the main stage anymore. If it's not on the main stage anymore, yeah, we could go back to the point where we are saying that it's there and people still not hearing us. So like, it's one of the things where we could still be talking about it, but it's not there because there's so many companies that have gone through the exact same thing. But because right now it's on the main stage, they're like, okay, no, we have to address this because right now everyone's addressing it, so we must as well. But it's like, okay, but why now? Why is it now that you want to address this? It's like,
because I guess now they believe. Before they didn't believe. Before they didn't care.
Believe, but that's why I say after, because it's like, you believe, but I don't believe you.
Yeah. But that's what happens when someone's telling you something for so long and you don't listen, and you're finally like, oh, now I listen, now I care. You're like, no, you don't, because I've been telling you for a while. So now the roles are reversed. I've been trying to convince you that I'm telling the truth this whole time. Now you finally believe me. I don't believe you believe me. I don't believe you care anymore because you've taken so long. But I guess,
because as I said, it's easy to make a statement, it's easy to donate, but again, it's after. Because like, think about it, it's easy for people to think about, okay, I'm going to say this, think about Red Nose Day, yeah? It's easy for people to text and send £5. It's easy for people to go around in Sainsbury's and be like, oh, here, are you going to donate via Red Nose? It goes to this. After that, what happens?
Yeah.
After that day is done, what happens?
Yeah, so what would you guys like to see? Okay, go on.
No, so it's a thing where it's like, we go back to that reality. This is the same thing for us, but it's where people need to understand that like, our reality is not a trend. It's either you stick with our reality as the same way you stick with the things that we do in terms of our culture and our music, or you just let us stop, because we don't. If that's what you're gonna keep doing, stay away. We don't want that.
Yeah. If you're only gonna jump in,
we don't want
when we're on the main stage
part time. It's either you're involved fully or not at all. You don't want half-assed people. It's like essentially you and friends. You don't want a part-time friend. If you're gonna be a part-time friend, bruv, you might as well just stay over there. If I see you on the road, cool. What you say? Keep it moving.
It's like being a parent, but you only visit your child on their birthday. You're a parent, but it's like when it's their birthday, they're on the main stage. Now you want to show up and help out, and then now when it's like the birthday's done, you go back to the shadows again.
And
it's like,
this is why I'm questioning, because I could go into say like, if a game company is like, oh snap, we made this statement, but also we don't have enough like black people within our team, guys, we're gonna hire black people. I mean, that's a bit of a tough one, because you're just like, it doesn't seem like you thought about it. It's like you're doing it for the sake of just doing it. You're just doing it like, oh yeah. But it's like
it's a quick short-term solution.
Exactly. But with game companies, some of them like actually, I just keep going back to 2K because it's like they've actually gone in to see what it is. They've gone and interacted with people. They know who like some of their demographic is, and like I can't even like some of the demographic of 2K is black men, because it's to do with basketball, and a lot of the stuff there you see a lot of them is there. So they go inside that, they go and see if they can bring people in. But in terms of when you know a games company, it's like I don't really sense that from that game company, and then they come in and be like, guys, we made a statement. I'm like, I mean, I can't even lie, I wasn't even asking for one, to be honest.
So what would you guys like to see, like individually, like what would you guys like to see from like gaming companies and within the gaming community, like
be consistent
to change? But consistent in what way? What do you want them to do? Like, what would you want them to do?
If you're gonna talk about solidarity and standing by, black people, and adding people into your company, and we're gonna add more black characters. I'm like, cool, but be constant with it. Don't pick just because it's on the main stage right now.
Okay.
Also,
what about you?
The main.
Thinking about what Shaq was saying, don't just add black characters as well, just to fill a role sort of thing. Like add them because you want to, and they have an important role. Don't just add them because we need to fill in the gap for a black person, a black woman, a black man sort of thing. Yeah.
But this is the thing though, Jake. I don't think they actually care. I think they're doing it because it's either going to make money or it's not going to make money. I don't think these people actually care about diversity in reality. I think it's just a matter of if we don't, we're gonna get fair dues. Your business. I don't expect you to care about me. To be honest with you, I don't expect you to care about me. I'm not expecting that from you. But at least respect me. If that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like don't act like you care when we know you don't.
Yeah. But respect me enough to at least try to please me. You know the ones where it's like respect my money enough to actually not disrespect me in the game. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But going what would you like to see?
Nah, in general, it's just a case of I just want to see how they want to crack down on people that want to be hurling abusive behavior. Really, like I'll give you an example, right? So you've got the top YouTubers, right? You got the top YouTubers like PewDiePie, Ninja. We all know that they've used the N-word before.
Have they? Wow, I did not know that.
Yeah.
Bro. PewDiePie said it. Ninja said it
multiple times, not just once.
Yeah.
For
but the thing
real.
is, and ultimately, we all know when they made their apologies. But they only made their apologies because they got caught. They ain't sorry, fam. It's because they care about their brand deals, this, that, and the other. So I feel like them type of people, realistically, you crossed the line, innit? So there needs to be like a decent punishment. Most times, people are saying sorry. Oh, he said sorry. He ain't gonna do it again. Big man, he only said sorry. They only said sorry because they got caught.
But then that also goes to the fans. Because similar to like what EA had posted on Apex, or what a games company might post on their page, most people are like, oh, I don't want that. What we talk about, Sayo, I don't want that bombarded on my game. It's like I don't want to see it. Or it's like with the same for like those YouTubers, most people are like, yeah, but they said it. It's like people say it all the time in gaming. I was like, yeah, but that's the point.
And that's why I said it's become a norm. Why is it a norm?
Yeah,
it shouldn't be a norm.
They said it in gaming,
but it is. But it's sad.
It's just because like, if this man has money, he may have YouTubers. Yeah, he has all the things. He brings out some good content. I mean, it's one game or like a variety of games. But it's like, oh, because he says it, it's okay for him to use it.
And also, when it comes to their demographic, it's not something that affects them on a daily basis, so they're not going to see it as a problem.
Yeah. But I mean, for me, like, I agree with you guys. I think the tricky thing is, holding people accountable, because I've had this discussion with people before. Holding people accountable for things they've said is difficult, because it's like, if somebody makes a comment, should they lose their livelihood because of a comment they made, especially when the comment they made has only affected somebody on an emotional level and not on an actual physical level. So for example, if someone's made a comment in general, not pointed at anybody else, should they now be held responsible because somebody in particular has
100%. Because if you think about
hold on, Shaq. Remember we had this whole discussion about the cancelling issue, where people had made comments how many years ago, and all of a sudden now people want them to now lose their livelihood because of something they said about 5 years ago. Something that doesn't affect your personal life. And I didn't say it to you, so now you want me to lose my job because you don't like something I said that wasn't directly at you. Does that make sense? So it's like, it's weird, because I do believe, and I think what we've got at the moment is good, because we've got a cultural norm that you shouldn't be saying that word. It's a cultural thing. Everyone knows it. Because I don't think there's any more we can do. We can't now say people that say that word should lose their jobs.
It's so easy. Like, if you watch like the PewDiePie video, if you go to that video, you see it's how quickly he just said it. You could have said any word. It's like he's getting shot and he dies, and it's like, oh, you could have said any word, but he says.
I remember. And also, when you're angry in the heat of the moment, you're not gonna filter yourself. You're gonna say the first thing that comes to your head as well. And if it's something that's in your normal vocabulary,
that's what I was going to say. If it's the first thing in your head, if it's the first thing that comes out, that means that means that's a normal thing for you.
Yeah,
and I get that. I get what you mean, Shara, when you say like it's difficult to say we want to cancel this person and not cancel this person.
Yeah,
I think it depends on like where with that word, it's like how is that becoming the norm? Where it's like it said back then where with what people say in terms of like black people in terms of their skin and their complexion, you messed up and you need to be, as you said, accountable for that. But if we're going to make those people be accountable, then we need to make these people be accountable, because we can't just let that go. It's like, you have followers, so you still said it.
So it's tricky, because there's so many dynamics to it. There's there's a fact that for some people it's like the more we get bothered by the word, they feel like that's the more power we give it. Does that make sense? So some people feel like, not that people should say it willy-nilly, but because again, I think a lot of people know it's a triggering word. So they know that if you say that, people are gonna go wild. So it's like, so they even say it intentionally just to see us go wild. It's like a trigger. So it's like, it still has power, even though we're trying to kind of like fight against it and be like, move forward. If we react to it the same way we react to it, again, I'm not saying people should just keep saying it either way. I'm just bringing like another perspective where people are like, well, if we're not bothered by it, eventually it would actually lose power. But then you don't want the word to become so loosely used.
Yeah.
But ultimately, and people are like, oh, why can't we say it? Ultimately, everybody has the right to decide how they're dressed, ultimately. So somebody was asking me, why can't some people say it? Why can't some people? I said, my dad, I know my dad's first name. I know my mom's first name. Let me go and call my mom her first name. I'll get slapped, bro. I can't be like, well, mom, my mom will say, that's not how you address me. Because she can decide how I should address her.
Simple. But then I wanna say, why do you want to say it in the first place? Like,
yeah.
What's irking you so much to just say the word? Like, why?
It's like this. It's like, oh,
people don't like being told what they can and can't do, innit?
Especially when they've never been told that they can't do anything. So generally, you know, people who are not black have never necessarily been told they can't do something. They've always had the right to do what they like. So this is like the first time someone's saying you can't do that. It's like, what? I can't.
It's like, go and say it. Like, go on. If you think like you want to say, it's like, go on, say it. It's like, yeah, but I can't say it. Then why are you asking? Why are we having this conversation anyway?
Exactly.
Yeah. If you're not gonna say it, and I've said go and say it, and you don't want to say it, then you know we shouldn't even be having this conversation in the first place. Exactly. But also, if you say it and I don't react, I know someone else is gonna react, and I'm not gonna stop them because that's not me. I'm not. I don't control that person's reaction. So it's up to you to do what you want. But I'm telling you, the feedback you're gonna get.
That's your business.
That's your business. Do that. You can't.
I wanna ask this though. Yeah. Alright. Cool. So we've all got our own experiences when it comes to gaming and this. How do you generally react if you've come across someone and they're hurling racial abuse, either to someone they're talking in the session or to you, or in some way, shape, or form?
At times, you just feel like. I think when it's there and I see it, I'm just like, just wow, like really, like at times you're just like, because you know it's gaming, there's not much you can do in a way, because like even if you go back, it's like you're just feeding them more so they can, as Sayo said, it's like you're giving them they see you're triggered, so they're gonna keep fueling it.
You're giving them ammo so they can use on you, basically.
When they leave it, it's like if I see that and I leave it and I'm like, cool, I mean, I don't have to play another game with you, I don't have to be in this session with you, I could just leave. But again, it's like it's always happening, it's gonna be there. It's because I know that games like a game development, they won't allow me to, if I report them, that's it. I've reported them, but that's not going to do anything because they're not going to follow up with that. That's not something that they want to follow up. If I know they're not going to follow up on like cheaters or hackers, this is probably the last thing they're going to try and follow up on.
Yep. What's funny is apparently, but then COD are really trying to follow up on the stuff now. So that's COD's promise now. COD are saying,
and COD is toxic.
That community has been really toxic for years now. I'm telling you, most of my experiences where I've heard some sort of racial abuse has been COD and Street Fighter 4. And then if I had to put a third, I would say Tekken, because at one point I was banging that game out religiously. But COD and Street Fighter 4.
100%.
COD,
you don't have to say anything. You can say like one thing, and then all of a sudden they just start.
Bro, it's not even what people say, bro. If you look at people's names, I'm seeing names like Nigger Stomper. Why is your name Nigger Stomper? Like,
why? Do you think like? So my question to you, man, is so you know how like like YouTubers like KSI, black YouTubers like KSI. So on his channel, he's had like so many racial slurs hurled at him, and to the point where he reacts to them on his channel. And predominantly, a lot of his demographic that he hasn't tailored it that way, but because it's FIFA has been like young white men or young white males. So when they see that they get touching back on that, when they see like they gauge that reaction, do you think because of the videos he's made and him reacting to it, it's become normalized in those type of communities?
Yeah.
100%.
Because you're gonna get a reaction. It's like the whole idea is they're trying to trigger you. Does that make sense? The whole idea
they're trying to get a reaction from you.
So
it's
when
whether you're
react,
gonna give them that reaction that they want or not.
But the problem is you're not reacting.
Do you say that so then this is my next question. Do you think like those videos that he reacts to should be banned?
No. So this is what I think. I think the issue is the consequences are coming from the wrong place. I shouldn't react. The gaming company should react. So I shouldn't react. I should be like, cool. Is that what you want to say? Does that make sense? Because I give an example. If someone punches you in the face in the street, they're not going to punch you in the face in the street because you're going to call the police. You don't have to react. The police will react. So they're not going to punch you in the face because they know that the police is going to react on your behalf. However, if they knew that the police won't help and you're going to fight, they'll trigger you all the time. They'll come and push you because they know that you're going to respond. Especially when they know the police will never get involved.
But this is the thing with that. And like saying like something like EA. So with the police, it's like if someone's getting racial slurs chucked at them and a police officer is there, and they don't do anything, even though the person's getting racial slurs chucked at them, it's gonna be like, oh, I didn't see anything or didn't hear anything. That's similar to what a games company similar. It's like EA, where if they're seeing that his stuff has it there, like his video is shown in that FIFA community, and they know that he's one of the top YouTubers for that game, and there's evidence there and you haven't touched upon it. But yet now you want to touch upon it. So the evidence has been there. The evidence, a person, one of your top like supporters for the game has evidence showing it, but you don't want to act upon it.
Yeah, and I guess
that's the same. Like
I guess it's because again they're gonna ask what is because again it's such a sticky infrastructure. The question is what can they do? Okay, they can ban people, right? So the question is they're gonna ban everyone who uses the word. But then, does that mean they're going to ban black people who use the word as well?
Yeah,
then it's going to be problematic.
I was even going to ask.
Are they going to now investigate who's black and who's white when they use the word? And then you've got a whole nother, because that means now EA are buying into the narrative that it's okay for black people to say and not white people, and it gets complex. So that's what we mean. So when someone says don't bring politics in my game, that's what they mean, because that's politics now. Like what? So if I was a gaming company, if I'm going to ban it, I'm going to ban it across the board. No one should use that word, period. If you want to use that word with your homies, do it over the phone somewhere else. Don't do it on my game. If I'm a gaming company.
Don't do it on this platform.
I'm not going to do it. I'm not going to do it on a platform.
That's the thing. Like, I do agree with what you man are saying. Like, if it's in a party chat, it's going to be said, like, amongst the people. Like, black people's going to be said amongst them at some point. We don't know. But, like, if it's in the game where, like, someone sent you a message in that game, it's like, I'm not even gonna lie, and that it's like, why are you using that as? It's going back to what I was saying. Why are you using that to insult someone?
Yeah.
Like they're so ready. If they can say, if they can ban you for saying like, or block out the words because you said an inappropriate word, it's like with that one, it's like, okay, you've used it, but it's like, okay, we're just gonna block it out. We're just gonna put stars on it. I'm like, okay, I know what that word says. It's like I know what that word says right there. Just you've left the like the first letter and just blocked out the other word. It's there.
Guys, I guess we're missing the bottom line for these guys. Money.
Yeah.
Because imagine I'm running a business and I'm banning everyone for using one word and I'm losing money because of one word. Bruv. Yeah. I'm losing money because of one word. They ain't hurting nobody. They're just saying a word. What's the big deal? Like,
and that's where it comes to like those big YouTubers like you're saying, like PewDiePie and all of them lot. Like, they can't just say, "Oh, get off my platform," because that's millions of views and streams being lost because of what other word. Like I said.
Yeah, exactly. It's like to them, it's like what over a word, because ultimately, that's what the issue is to them anyway. To them, it's just a word. So it's like I can't have people, and I think that's why I was saying earlier. Some people have an issue with it because that's probably one of the most powerful words in the dictionary right now. That word causes so much controversy. It can cause fights. It can cause so much, and it's like sometimes
you're gonna get some sort of reaction.
Exactly. So it's like
even just by reading the word, you can raise an eyebrow. You could be like, "Oh,
did he just say So it's like it's almost as though, how do we? Because the more we make it, and again, I don't think we should make the word free, but I think the more we make the word illegal, quote unquote, and unusable, the more we preserve its power. Does that make sense? Because it's like ooh, the word that that name, the name that cannot be said, Harry Potter.
Yeah.
The one's like, ooh, like no one can say his name. Like, and the more that exists, but again, I can't lie. At the same time, I personally don't want people to be saying it willy-nilly either. That'd just be a mad thing. So you asked a question earlier. You said, how you guys experience when people are racist in gaming. I'll tell you a funny story, right? Yeah. There is a particular gentleman in our gaming group who I'm not going to mention names, don't worry, it's not a bad story like that. A particular gentleman in our gaming group who Cee went to uni with you, who is the businessman, right? So obviously before I met him, I didn't know he was black. So because of his voice, I thought he was white.
Yeah.
So then one day you guys were talking, and he was talking. He was like, yeah, and he was annoyed. He doesn't use the word usually, but he was annoyed, and he said, "Oh, that person's a yeah." And I was like, and you guys are just like, "Ah, yeah, you guys are just cool." And I thought, see, in my brain, I was thinking, what's going on here? And I can't lie to you guys. For 2 weeks, I was just like, I don't know if I want to feel in this group. This is what's going to be happening. I was like in my feelings. But I thought,
bro, why didn't you shout me then? You should have shouted me privately.
Do you know what it was? Because, bro, this is I don't know. I thought it was it's not that deep. I was even thinking, am I being extra? Like, it's not a big deal, I'm sure. Because he even said in the comment he made, I don't even mean it in a racist way, which made me even think more that he was white. But it's like, I don't mean it in a racist way, but this person is actually in every sense of the word. Until I met him, and I was like, oh, no, not until I met him, until I saw his picture, and I was like, oh, okay. so
I was bamboozled.
I was annoyed with him for
2-3
weeks. I was annoyed with him for 2-3 weeks, thinking he was just some reckless white boy, realizing that he's black the whole time, which is hilarious. But I realized that, the only reason why that bothered me was because obviously this is somebody in our friendship circle. Does that make sense? However, people online that I just feel like they're just nonsense. I don't even pay them any attention. I just like, okay, whatever. Yeah. Hope you have a good night. Good night. Because usually when they lose, they start hurling abuse at me. Usually when I beat them, like on FIFA, when I used to play FIFA, when I beat people, they'll start saying, telling me dumb inboxes.
FIFA was mad.
Yeah, FIFA was another one. I completely forgot about that. Them online games, especially when you beat them with that last minute goal.
Yeah.
You hear it all stupid.
They'll quit early.
Mad.
Yeah. Because the thing is, even if it's not racial abuse, they'll just abuse you in general. Like, they'll try and cuss you. It's just like, bro,
9% of the time
you can roast me all you want. At the end of the day, just accept the fact that you lost. But you know what the thing is, people are getting mad upset about games to the point where they feel like they need to hold racial abuse. That's how mad it is. That's how I feel like these are your general thoughts.
Yeah.
And you're just exposing the type of person you are, bro.
I think what's happened is the world knows there's a way I can trigger a black person. Black people have a trigger that the world knows about. And I think that's why. So it's like any other race, there's not necessarily something you can say that you know is going to get them. Does that make sense? But black people, there's a way you can talk to them. There's things you can say to them that's just going to get under their skin. Yeah. So it's like, and they use it. And because, especially in America, there's freedom of speech. You're allowed to say what you like, blah, 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 blah. It's like, well, I got my own freedom of speech. I can say what I like. So it's almost like you lose a game and you're that triggered that you don't mind doing psychological damage to somebody else because you know you've got a weapon to use against them. And it's horrible, that you can think it's okay. It's just crazy.
They don't want to be the only person that's feeling bad in that moment of time.
Yeah.
I've got a story as well. When back when I was playing 360. This is when I was playing with
360.
When I was playing with what is it? Another one in the group chat. Everyone knows what it is. What is it? The man with the long hair and strong beard.
Yeah.
But yeah, so him and I were playing Black Ops 2, searching the stray.
Wait,
now we're searching.
Who's got long hair and the one who's always walking his dog?
Yeah.
When they watch it, it's so funny. The one who's always drinking tea.
You know the ones.
I'm gonna get
I don't expose no names in it.
Yeah,
they know who they are.
Yeah, they know who they are, which is funny.
Yeah. But yeah. Oh, and someone I also went uni with.
Yeah. You were saying you're playing with him. What was happening?
Hold on, I need to mute my chat again. Hold on, sorry.
Oh man, yeah. No, I think with the game and stuff, like you always have these occurrences where you see it, and you just like. Same with reaction review. If it's someone like you hear their voice and you're like, that's why I say it's difficult because the voice might not match the complexion.
The
always do that. So you can never. Sometimes you can never be
You're not 100% sure.
Like,
yeah.
You can never go, oh yeah, I'm gonna base it off that and be like, yeah, you can't say that.
But
and then you get surprised, and it sounds like you bamboozled or something. Or they bamboozled you.
But Shaq, you know what it is? Let's put it like this, right? Reality is, period. No matter what color you are, you shouldn't be hurling racial abuse at black people, period. So just because you're black doesn't mean you can come to me and be hurling racial abuse at me because you're black. That still should be unacceptable. Because again, it's like somebody pointed it out. They said when someone says, "Oh, you black fool," for example, like why did you need to put black there? Why is my color a factor in this scenario?
100%.
Why did we use it as an insult?
Exactly. So even when they write news articles and they're like, the media goes, oh, black man caught. Why are we highlighting his color? Why is the fact that he's a black man? Why can't you just say man caught doing so and so forth? Why is the black man part relevant? So it's it's quite, because my friend, I was telling my friend the other day, my friend's she's a psychologist, and trust me, psychologist friends are not the greatest to have sometimes. And I was telling her a story about something happened at the till. So I was like, oh, this black woman, she was and then this white lady, and she said, Sayo, why have you highlighted the black? Why did you say these two women? And I'm like, I don't know. I just wanted to mention. No, why? Like what? Then I realized in the story, because the white lady was being extra horrible and the black lady was being extra nice. So I wanted to show that there was. I felt the behavior was racially motivated. So I was highlighting the color of each person to kind of point out this was racism. Does that make sense? But not directly. It was underlying. It was an underlying point I'm trying to make. So I realized
if it's a factor, you do mention.
Yeah, exactly. So when someone abuses you and they mention your ethnicity, they mention your culture, they mention your race, you're hurling racial abuse. And then the question is, why, fam? Why? Like, what? Why did that start? I think moving forward, we shouldn't care about whether or not the person is, whether we hear their voice and they sound black or not. Why you heard of racial abuse? Does that make sense? Why are you trying to grade or demean me based on the color of my skin? That doesn't make. Again, abuse is abuse is something that we shouldn't be doing in general. But we all know sometimes it's just banter. But I don't know how much banter it is when we start bringing race. Does that make sense? I don't think when we bring race.
Only so far you can go.
Does that make sense? When someone says, "Oh, you're dumb, man. You're dumb," that sounds like banter. Someone says, "You're dumb and black." That doesn't sound like banter anymore.
Yeah.
It's not like banter anymore. That's like, okay, hold on a minute. Where's that coming from?
Yeah, the story I was gonna say. So I wasn't called the N-word or anything in this story, but yeah. So I was playing alongside the man that walks his dog often. Black Ops 2, search and destroy. You know, with search and destroy, you can't do party chat. So you have
to go in
game chat. Yeah. So we're talking in game chat. Cool. We're doing well in the game and whatnot. And then one guy just from the other team just randomly says to me, "Yo, Cee Giuseppe, why are you trying to talk like you're ghetto fool? You ain't ghetto." I was like, huh? I'm just like, who says I'm trying to be ghetto though? Yeah, man, the way you talk, you think you're ghetto. I bet you're not really ghetto though. Why are you trying to be like them for? I was like, rah, my man's
like
actually gone out of his way to judge me just based on how I talk. So I was like, who's trying to? But I never once said I was ghetto. This is what you're saying. And he was like, yeah, man, you trying to be ghetto. Look, yeah, just play the damn game, this, that, and the other.
Wow.
And oh shit, man said his name. I'll just beep it. But yeah. But then yeah, got involved, and he was just saying, yeah, but why are you judging him for this, that, and the other, innit? And the guy was like, yeah, because he's trying to be ghetto, this, that, and the other. So at this point, yeah, in my head, I was like, whatever he's saying, yeah, he's trying to prompt the reaction from me. I'm just gonna come back, but I'm not gonna come back the way he expects it. I said, bro, you know this is just a game, bro. Why are you getting so angry for? Like, why do you care about how I talk? And then he was like, bruv, shut up. Look at your KD though. Your KD's not even great. I said, cool, big man. So now we're getting on to KD, yeah? First you're saying I'm ghetto, now you're saying I'm shit at the game. But, alright, cool. Is your KD gonna pay your bills?
Wow.
Is your KD gonna get you money? Is your KD gonna get you pussy? And then as soon as I said that, he went, I get plenty of your pussy, man. I said, you took that, don't get pussy at all. That's my point. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
And he took it from then, and me and he were just laughing. We're just like, bro, it's okay, man. So, like, some people have to try a bit harder, you know. If you have to try hard,
it's always that thing. It's
kind
like,
of thing.
it's like it's never that deep. It's like it's not gaming. It's like, oh yeah, but yeah, 1v1 me. I'll tell you to do this, that. I'll show you. I'm like, bro, to be honest, yeah, you can 1v1 me. I could lose, but as soon as I come off this, I don't care. I still don't care.
Yeah.
Even playing the 1v1, I still don't care.
And the thing with me, I only said what I said because he was trying to get a reaction from me. I'm gonna do an Uno reverse on you, fam. That's all. Because at the end of the day, I'm just trying to have a good time in the game.
It's the L sweatshirt thing, yeah, where he's like, I don't care, I still don't care, I don't care. That's literally what it is. I'll send you the video, see if you're gonna put it in here.
Don't care, still don't care. I don't care. I don't care. What'd you say? I just want to know what you said. What did you say? I don't care.
That's what it is. It's like, that's what it is. It's like, you can say all these things, yeah, but like, it's not really gonna get me. Like, there's no reason because I know when I leave, I'm gonna be doing what I need to do. But like, you're on here taking it seriously, where you're saying that this gives you some godly power, when in reality, it's like, no. I mean, you're like, oh, you're saying this like you're gonna go MLG, but I'm gonna be real and rude with you. You're not. So just either you continue playing the game and let us win this match, or shut up.
Yeah.
Oh, also
I
one
mean,
time, yeah, I got this is when I used to play Tekken religiously. I beat someone online in Tekken, right? And then he sent me this, and it just doesn't make any sense. Man says, after I beat him, he goes, "You play like a nigga."
Wow.
What?
See that's someone.
So how does a nigga play? How? Please explain.
That's the whole point.
Show you're working out. Point. 10 marks. Please.
No, because apparently, from what that is, yeah, what they believe as their skill is MLG. Apparently, black people don't play MLG. It's the stupidest thing I've heard. I'm like, I mean, how did that become like a fighting style in Tekken?
But then when you see esports and you see all these games being played, there are a lot of black people representing their countries.
Hello.
100%.
So that's what I'm saying. That comment don't make no sense. Like when I received that, I was scratching my head. I said, this don't make no sense to me. Bro,
the thing about that comment is 90% of it was a trigger. So he wanted to use the word and he couldn't think of a context. So he said, let me put it in this context. Because the sentence doesn't even make sense. But it's a reaction thing. I'm trying to get a reaction out of you. I'm trying to get you to rage.
If I can't win in the game, I'm going to win by hurting his emotions.
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Yeah.
Return back to sender. Don't affect me. Like, I don't understand. That's not going to get me.
During that time, of the 360 days, people wanted to like hurt you so bad. They got so creative with the words. I was hearing terms I've never heard in my life being thrown at me, and like other people I knew. It's just crazy. I've never heard some of these terms before until that moment in my life.
Because they're trying to be like, oh yeah, it's like having an inventory, and you can't defeat. It's like you can't defeat this boss, so you're just throwing everything in your inventory to try and defeat. But it's not working.
You know that was there. There's no real strategy.
It's like resistant, not effective. No effect.
Funny. Just trying to trigger the boss any way you can.
Guys, another thing, yeah. This is based on the subject we've been talking about. So I read this post. I want to get your views on this because I was just like, right, like people are actually going out their way to do this. So Red Dead Redemption 2. We know it's based on a certain setting where when during slavery settings when black people were slaves, this, that, and the other, KKK is involved in the game. Cool, right? There are gamers actively going in the game just to herd up black slaves just to kill them.
Wait. Hold on. Sorry. Excuse me. Rewind and stop.
You heard me, bro.
What?
In Red Dead Redemption 2, there are
Do you know this is what
people
I'm
that
telling you
play
about?
the game. There are people that play the game to actively find black slaves, round them up in one area, and dead them off.
So
I
you know,
wanna
what's
what's
your
your
thing
thoughts
of what we're
on
talking
people
about?
that go make they're actually making an effort to do that in a game?
Because it's going
wanted to
back
know
to
your
the thing.
thought
It's
on
like you may not show you're racist in real life, but on virtual reality, you have gone out of your way, where a game has allows you to do this or gives you enough freedom where you've actually made it your objective to do this, and it's just showing like you're there and you're putting all the stuff you can't do in reality, you want to put into virtual reality.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like how did you even
all that time as well? That will take you hours to do.
Bro, it's
Just to do that, you have.
but that's their main objective.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
giving
My mind
yourself
was
an
squad
objective.
when I read this post. You know, I was like, "Raw!" Like people are actually doing this. That is effort.
People will be doing this. They've been doing this. It's
And
like,
you know, it's part of it is triggering, bro. Part of it is to trigger us. Part of it is to let them know that.
as they say,
know.
like people fuel off this. Like it's like a
Yeah.
troll. A troll will fuel off trolling. Like if you get triggered by it, they will react. They will get at it. Like they'll be like, "Oh yeah, this is my energy. This is how I live."
But then, what is it? I know certain people have done things in the game as well as if they actively bring a black person to the KKK in the game, what's gonna happen? Like they're genuinely intrigued to see what's happened or what will happen, but ultimately nothing happens. Because then, if it's a case where something happens, right? Like one of the members in the KKK in the game ends up killing the black person, then is it a case where we now have to turn our attention to Rockstar because they have coded and animated this whole thing to happen?
But the thing is, like there is like so some people would say, but that's giving an authentic experience to what happened in the game. However, there are certain authentic experiences that we don't need to have in games. There was rape. There was so much stuff.
What my
Are we now going to
mindset
start simulating rapes in PS4 games just to show we want to be historically accurate? That doesn't make sense. Does that make sense? So it's like we don't need to, because it doesn't add anything to the game.
I can't even lie. When I saw that in Red Dead, I was instantly triggered. I swear that I bought a Molotov and I ended the whole thing. I was like, no, this isn't happening. I don't want to see this in my game. So I was like,
No, but was it a thing where you knew they were in the game prior to purchasing?
Oh no, I did not know.
No,
I did not know. I was roaming and I see a fire in the distance. I'm like, why is there a fire in the distance? So you know, in Red Dead, you go and explore. If I see a fire in the distance, I'm like, cool. I stopped. I was like,
that was my exact reaction.
the first thing I did, I was like, this needs to be stopped now. in the game, and it's like, oh yeah, people are like, oh, there's always violence. I'm like, no, this is a violence that cannot go on. I cannot see this. They need to be left. Delete this from the game. I'm hoping that me doing like getting rid of them in the game has got rid of them from the whole code where I don't need to see that no more.
Did it give you a personal satisfaction as well?
It was, because it's like I felt like I've stopped something. Imagine it's like it kind of makes you think like, oh, have they put this in the game to kind of be like you have done something in the world of gaming, when it's like they should have done something in the world of gaming. Because it didn't even give me satisfaction. It was still like I'm still seeing this in the game. I've just seen that. If I hit share save video clip of my game, that's there. If I restart the game, start a new save, I could go back to see that. That is there.
Yeah.
And it's like,
no, continue.
No, I don't know what I'd do. I don't know what, like, I'm just like, yeah, it's similar to like if someone, you know, when other people see like someone being racist, and it's like it's like the first thing that comes to your head is like, I need to punch this person, because it's like, if no one's gonna do it, let me at least knock sense into that person. No one's encouraging that, but it's like, it's your first thing, because it's like, I can't, the anger inside of you is just like, I am about to let loose. Seeing that in a game, it's like, if it's in a game and you go and like get rid of that NPC, it's because like that's your gut reaction, or it's like there's something you're filled with anger because it's like, I don't want to see that. I know I can stop it in the game, but it's like that shouldn't be my first reaction, because also it shouldn't be in the game.
Yeah, because again, I always wonder: are there any games that feature the Holocaust? You know, are there any games? We've got COD World War II, right?
Yeah.
Do they? Are they like cutscenes of Hitler and concentration camps? And probably not, because
I know there's a couple games that showcase with Black history and Black racism. One, yeah, Red Dead. Two, the game you played, Jake, Mafia.
Yeah,
Mafia
I'm still
3.
playing it.
It's
How's your experience with Mafia 3? Because I've got the game, but I'm yet to play it.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it. I mean, gameplay wise, it's just your general sandbox game. Like it's nothing special in that regard. But the story,
Not doing anything new for the gaming world.
but the story, the way it's telling the story, and the way that the cutscenes are presented are really, really good. Like it's the one thing that's keeping me to the game.
Continue. Sorry, my bad.
Now, what are you gonna say?
I was literally just gonna ask, when it comes to displaying the racial tension in the game, like portrayed. Two, as a black man yourself, like how do you feel when you see that, or what kind of reaction does it stem from you?
I just shake my head, because I've literally I've said this story to a lot of people recently about how obviously with what's been obviously with police brutality in the modern day, like you see it in the game as well. That game is set in 1968, and I'm hearing the same headlines in that time period.
So you're hearing now, mad.
Yeah, still being regurgitated in 2020, and it's just the same thing. Like, what was it? It was like, these two black men, their car broke down in a white neighborhood. They go to ask help from a house, and then a white guy comes out and shoots them because he says that they're on his property. They're trying to rob him or something like that. All they're doing is just standing in front of his house, and he killed him because of that. And it's not just that, but it's just the little things that they've coded. Like, if you get depending on wherever you're in, if you get the police on you, the way that they say stuff is very different. So, like, if I'm in a white neighborhood, they will say, a colored man is committing a crime in this area. Assemble quickly, and literally in seconds, cars are coming. But when it comes to, like, I'm in a poor neighborhood now, it's like, colored man committing some sort of felony. If you've got time, go and check it out. And they will take literally 2-3 minutes to get to that area, and then they will only stay there for like maybe 20-30 seconds and be like, we lost him, that's it, let's go. It's just little things like that. And then also, such as when you're going past police, their heads are turning. Like, you know, in like games when you're being spotted by like an enemy, you have that little indicator showing that they're looking at you. When you go past police, it's all the time. You go past the police station.
So they paid attention to detail, how things were during them times.
This is the thing, though. It's like, how do we feel about that? Is that because, again, in my mind, it's like, are they doing it to kind of to trigger, or are they trying to be accurate to how things were at that time?
Because it could somewhat be an educational point, you know.
Because when you start up the game, it literally brings up a long notice saying, we wanted to recreate this time, but we thought it would be wrong to recreate this period of like the mafia, and not include the racial tensions that came along with that time. That's literally based on the whole notice.
Because in a way, but then you can kind of say that with like something like Red Dead and that game, is that they're just letting you, it's like it's there in that time. To kind of say it's not there is to making people think, like, because people do learn stuff from games. So to go like, that didn't exist. People are like, when someone mentions it to them, it's like, no, that didn't happen. I've seen it in this game. It didn't happen. It's like they did a thing where they based it on that, and it's just like, now it's like, is it a bad thing? Is it there? Is it a good thing that it's there? Is it like educational? Is it not?
They kind of integrated that factor of racism and prejudice within the story, which is why they felt like they had to portray it. They had to include all of it. And obviously, like going further in, like you do see stuff like the KKK, and I'm hearing all these like radio shows when I'm in the car, and they're talking about stuff like white America, all clean America. I'm going to different like stores around the city, and a lot of them say no colours allowed. Things like that. Like, I can't use this entrance, I have to go to that entrance, sort of thing.
Isn't it a game like, I swear it is it is games that try to say a message, like a game. I'd say, a game that done that. South Park. Like the difficulty mode. So I remember if you created a character,
the darker your character, the harder the grinding. Yeah, so basically, you're basically the darkest character. You grind in the game as normal, but your rewards are not going to be as high as if you were a white person.
And that's the
one level you can get like $10, but if you're black, you're gonna get $2.50. So basically, the difficulty was based on your skin tone. Because remember, I played that game. I finished that on stream and everything.
I was all there talking and I realized I was on mute. My bad. Anyway, so no, like guys, I hear what you're saying, like to a degree, but I can't lie. I don't buy it, if I'm honest. Like the reason I say that is because who's learning what? Do you think these little white kids are thinking, oh my gosh, so it's harder for black people? This is so sad. Like, let's be honest, they're not sitting down like, oh, you're quite a bit better.
If you're not, I get that. If you're not buying that, then can you buy the messages that they're sending out about this current situation then?
I can buy it a bit more because if they're true about the efforts they're trying to make, they're actually trying to make efforts to help us outside of the game. So you know who? Okay, I'll give you an example of something that I did like and I thought was very positive. Apex, Bangalore. Bangalore was a strong. She's the only character, or one of the only characters in Apex, who people consider an actual hero. She's the only one that doesn't have a corrupt bone in her body. Her and Lifeline. So you know all the rest of them, they're questionable. They're like, I don't know about you, bro. But she's like people regard her as a genuine hero. So she's a black woman. She's from the military. She's not, the stereotypical. Okay, she's natural hair. She's not the stereotypical black woman attitude. No, she's a very, very plain. Exactly, that's a word. She's very, very disciplined, and she's an army officer. So for me, it was like you're promoting a positive image of a black woman on a game.
Okay, but this is where
I'm bored of when they keep doing like slavery films, like 12 years a slave, and then like there was a year when we had like 6 slavery films coming out all at once. Like I get the point. You're trying to, but eventually now it becomes trauma porn, where you're just showing the trauma over and over again, thinking that now it's gonna, but it makes people desensitized to it. How many times are we gonna see slavery and be like, oh my gosh, this is what they went through? Like, oh yeah, slavery again. Oh yeah, right, that was funny. Oh yeah, it becomes a joke now. Let me tell you what was funny. My friend, they watched, when they see us, right? My friend that I game with, her brother, and again, this guy's he's a cool dude, but clearly he lives in a different place, basically. He watched when it's like, oh my gosh, man. He said it was really good. He said it's an amazing story. He was telling his sister, I thought it was such an amazing story, so well written. What, bro? That really happened. He thought it was just a drama that he created. Fiction. Yeah. It was fiction. Ooh. Yeah, he thought it was just a story that they created. So when I said to him, nah, dude, that's a real story, he was almost like, what? Like, huh?
He was perplexed.
That happened? Very perplexed. Because again, he was so used to seeing these kind of stories that he just thought they were all just stories now. Because it's become, this is so horrific that this can't be real anymore. This must be just.
But then that's the thing where, it also goes back to, even if you tell people that it's true, most people don't want to see that. It's like, I'm not saying he's chosen to not realize what's going on, but some people have just like blocked it out to see like this has happened.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to accept that this is how reality is.
Like this is, and I agree with you where you're saying you don't want to see that as a black person. It's so painful to see, but also most people when they see it, they like disregard it. It's like, oh, this don't happen. It's like, oh, if this comes out, it's like, oh, did this really happen, or is this something? It's like, yeah. It's like most of the stuff that evolves, like if it's about a traumatic experience for a black person, most of the time it's not. It is a true story, or it's based on a true story, or some of these things or these events that have happened or have happened in the same way or happened to someone in some way.
Yeah, it didn't just come out, didn't
it?
Yeah, like for me, I think it's a thing where media, gaming needs to start promoting more positive narratives about black people. So it's like, we know slavery happened. I'm not saying that in the sense of we should ignore it, and I think slavery should be addressed, but I think That's why I love the whole Black Panther vibe, because for once, it's like Africa's looking like the place to be.
Even that
makes sense.
Even that film for people was controversial. The reason why it was controversial is because so many people were ready to be like, oh yeah, this isn't a great film, or this isn't, but they didn't understand what that had done for a community or just for black people in general, because that is similar to what you're saying. It's not trauma that we're seeing. It's a thing where we're seeing black excellence. We're seeing a man who is a king and seeing his city, his subjects who are not poor, everyone is equal. To see that, and it's different. But people were so ready to be like, yeah, but there's flaws in this film. I'm like, shut up, go away. About there's flaws. It's like, so this is what it's done. And imagine, remember when that film came out and the amount of it brought black people together in terms of, I'm going to go see this. Hey, do you want to come and see this? People wearing their traditional clothing to see this.
They dressed up for the film. So, I mean, if I was to give advice to gaming companies and they have to say, oh, what can we do to improve the narrative? I would definitely say invest a lot more into promoting positive black characters in your games. Make your main characters black. You know, story mode, let it be a black man we're following. Let it be a black man we're understanding. Story mode, let it be a black woman we're following. Don't let it always be...
Like seeing, it was like Spider-Man, Into the Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Exactly. For that people,
kids to see that, for kids to see, it's like, if you know the comic lore, it's like, it's there. But like, for kids to see a kid who is like is powerful, even if stuff is bringing him down, he's still gonna go up and still try and triumph. To see that, the amount of like when we went to Comic-Con and I saw that, it just brought joy to my face. It just brought joy.
Well, the kids came as
I don't know. It's the young black coming as like, it's like, oh, who? Because it's the same thing. It's like, who do I have there that represents me? Exactly. It's like when you go to Con, and every black person goes, oh, who am I going to cosplay as? Because they always ask that question of like, who?
And it's always like, I'm gonna be the black version of this, black version of that. It's like, why can't you be this character? Why not be the black version?
It's like when people go, oh yeah, I've seen a post and people said, oh, I bet, watching Black Panther again, I bet people understand now what Killmonger was talking about. I'm like, it's like, do you think if Killmonger had gone on with his plan, how things would have been different? I'm like,
bruv, ain't nobody putting anyone's knee on someone's neck for 8 minutes if Killmonger had his way.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it's just that representation it's needed. Even with Killmonger, I didn't see like a man of trauma. I saw someone who was just like trying to get back the culture and what was like his.
He was a man of action.
Like,
he was a man of action. Obviously, you could maybe question the way he went about things, but he was a man of action, isn't it?
Yeah, because my most I was gonna say one of the things that bothers me a lot is the treatment and perspective that the world has on black women, especially. There was a Fortnite season where the 100 tier skin was the black woman. I don't know if you saw it. See, it was a black woman and she was the number one. Yeah, it was like season 6 or 7.
Let me check this.
So type in Fortnite season 8 tier 100. So people were excited, like, oh, every time the game came out, everyone wants to be like, they want to level up and get to tier 100, like in most games. And then when they saw it was a black woman, people were disappointed. People were complaining. But every season, every season, tier 100 it can be random. It can be anything. It doesn't matter what it is. It's just you just have to achieve it. But people were upset that they were going to grind so hard to win a skin that was a black woman. And I thought, really?
Yo, I think this skin looks hard.
But although, do you know what's a bit mad, when you click on that tier 100 skin, so when you click on all the characters, none of them are, it's a bit mad because none of them are holding a weapon. None of them are holding a weapon. But with her,
she's holding the weapon.
She's holding a weapon.
That's a bit mad. Like, come on now. I know it's like, but it's like, come on now. The difference is like, you've got all these other characters. Even if I go to these characters now, it's rare where some of them are holding a gun, but like you put her as the base, and also with people not liking it because she's the skin. It's like, that's a bit mad. You're telling me, you have a problem with a black lady being the tier 100 skin, but you don't have a problem with a banana being one of the tier 100 skins.
Exactly.
That makes no sense.
And you know what makes it worse? The skin is optional.
Yeah.
The skin is optional.
Yeah,
If you
but
don't
the-
like it, don't
con-
use it. It's
the
not
concept-
that
Most of these
deep,
people,
bro.
most of these people will buy a new skin anyway.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but the problem is the fact that you're telling me I have to grind, and my prize is a black woman, and it's like, well, hold on a minute. What are you trying to suggest?
Yeah.
And again, it shows that internalized perception that they have of us, our people, our women. That's like, you know, why should you be any valuable? Where's your value? Basically, you're not something I'm going to value.
Even
You're not
now,
something I'm going to aspire
people
to.
are like, oh, if you think about like, would people be saying that if the skin was, imagine if the tier 100 skin was the Travis Scott skin, would people be still reacting the same way? I want to know that. That's the real question, because it's like people, it's like if he didn't have, imagine if that was like a Travis Scott skin and no one knew who that was. And like they're like, would they react the same, or they're just gonna react because it's like Travis Scott and it's the culture because they know him? It's like, oh yeah,
it's
music, they
definitely
love the
the
music.
culture. Yeah, it's the culture of the music.
It was the
Like I said,
Travis
if
Scott
it-
skin, but he wasn't a music artist. He was just a random,
Yeah,
just a
yeah,
random
yeah,
skin.
yeah, yeah.
They'll be
How
like,
would
yeah.
the reaction
Ain't no one
be?
gonna care if it was a
Yeah,
random.
Because I
yeah.
guarantee they'll be like, you'll get the it's a ghetto skin, or it's like this is the
Yeah,
the
exactly.
N-word skin, or he's probably like if you put a gun in his hand, he looks like someone who's gonna in like this particular part of America. It's like that's what I'm saying. Really, like this is what you're spending your time to complain about a skin. In the next season pass, you're probably not going to complain about the dead skin you're going to get anyway. You might even like the skin in the next one, but you're complaining more about this one than anything else. You got a banana as a skin. You got a hedge cat as a skin. You're getting some ridiculous ones and you're complaining about that. That's mad.
It's a bit mad, isn't it?